Yeah. We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Stepping for the title and facial rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO. Bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Miss Akron, Cleveland, Springfield, Dayton. Miss Akron, Cleveland, Springfield, Dayton.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing, Crown Jewel. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
What's good, my brother?
Good, man. It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well.
Hold on one second. All right, my bad, y'all. I had to fix some on my end. So what's going on, man? So how you feeling about Frank Martin after that fight, man?
I think Frank Martin left a lot to be desired. I don't think he looked well. I think the guy ran out of gas, so he was able to come on late. But we was on together, so
yeah.
Very unimpressed, very underwhelmed by his performance. But before we go too crazy, we got to get on today's news, man.
What's that?
Devin the Duck Haney is a official Duck. He then came out and tweeted that he's fighting Regis in October. I told y'all once him and Tank was both free, he wasn't going to say the letter T, let alone Tank.
Hey, you was right about that. Let me read a couple of these comments real quick. Salute to my man Greenlight said, "What's up, brother? Oh, you're not even on yet." He said, "I commented and pressed the like button already." Salute to QQ, part of the TYT family. You know your boy BBO just joined the TYT family. But like you said, man, what do you expect from Devin Haney but that? That's what he does.
That's exactly what he does. Clout chase, call out everybody, fight nobody.
And if he beats Regis, what does that prove?
Nothing, because Regis looked like trash truck juice in his last fight.
And you know what it is? People say, "Oh, Regis came off 4 knockouts." Can you name any of those guys he knocked out? One of those 4 guys he knocked out?
No, you know what, though? I respected Regis at one time. I thought he would beat Devin. But after the way he performed last fight, it looked like his time has come and go.
Yeah, that's a great point. I just hope that, you know, Devin Haney would stop trying to use other people to build his brand and just go out there and be great. That's all. That's all.
It hasn't. The bad part about it is it hasn't worked. So the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing and expecting a different result.
You rough, bro.
He been calling Tank's name, trying to steal his fans, and his dad been helping him do it, and it hasn't translated into success for him. He went as far as to calling Ryan and Tank an exhibition. What? Yeah. Why is he saying that? He's saying that because he's jealous because of the attraction that their event was, and he's got all 4 titles in the same weight class, fighting in the same city, and couldn't generate 1/3 of the revenue. Matter of fact, 1/10 of the revenue.
Hey, it's, you know what? I think the thing is, unfortunately, I don't think Devin Haney's self-aware. And when you're not self-aware, you make decisions like he's been making, because I think in his mind he kind of doing what Terrence Crawford was doing. Oh, I'm undisputed. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Man, if you're not a top tier, you know, gate attraction, none of that matters. You might as well not even box. Because I can say this.
I won't say you might as well not box, but you just have to play your position, because he's earned a good living for himself. He's made it to the 1% of fighters. Like, he's a multi-millionaire, so let's not say that. He makes money. He's successful. He's a talented fighter, but he wants to be a superstar. And what you got to understand is not everybody's going to be a superstar. Some people just are not. And sometimes you got to be comfortable with being exactly who you are and not being mad at other people for being what you're not.
Yeah, and you know what? I think when I say not even box, I'm just more or less saying you don't do it to like appease people. If you don't do it for yourself, that's the funny thing about Tank. I think Tank just wants to box because he want to be great. I honestly can say that. Not saying everybody got to have that, but even an angry Floyd Mayweather, when he came back as Money Mayweather, he just wanted to be great. Yeah. Floyd can say what he want, but he wanted to be great. Well,
the great thing about Tank and his superstardom right now, people are loving him for being him. He doesn't have to be anybody he's not. And I think that's what hurts Devin, is that everybody recognizes the things you're saying, the persona you're trying to, you know, portray to the world. People don't believe it. And when people don't believe it, they're not going to get behind it. So sometimes it's just best to be yourself because everybody else is taken.
Hey, that's the truth, man. Salute to my man, Prize Fighter, man. What's up with you, brother?
Yeah.
Hey, we got it
working.
Hey, we got a couple comments, man. Salute to QQ. She said, Frank just getting started. I like to watch him fight. Yeah. He's just tough, but I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I can agree with Know Your Role. Salute to my man, Gabe.
G5. Shout out G5 Gabe. Go follow G5 Gabe.
Yeah, hey, go follow QQ and my man G5 Gabe. I think the thing that's so crazy about when you talk about Devin Haney, man, I just think maybe I'm wrong for this, Crown. I'm expecting more. I don't know, Prize. I'm expecting so much more because
what more you want?
He's doing what he's always done.
Here we go.
Bro, you can't say you Floyd Mayweather, man. You can't act like you Floyd Mayweather and not do Floyd Mayweather things, man.
He's fighting everybody that we asked him to fight. He's undisputed. He got more. He probably got more money than all of them.
No, he did not. No, he did not fight who wanted him to fight.
Who he did? Who he ain't fight?
Devin and Tank. I mean, Shakur and Tank. Shakur and Tank.
Hold on. We just Hold up. He just had a fight. What they said was a top 10 pound for pound fighter. He beat him. So now Tank just got out of jail. Shakur didn't want the what was it? 70-30? What was it?
No, it was 75-25.
Okay, whatever.
Which again, hold on.
How much did
now
Tyson
that you bring
Fury,
that up,
why didn't
let's
Tyson
kill
Fury
that.
when Tyson Fury said 80-20 to the little dozer, the Ukrainian dozer, right? What did the Ukrainian dozer turn around and do? Said, yeah, I'll take the 20%. And he got all the belts.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Usyk wasn't Tyson Fury's mandatory. If you look at the WBC rules,
man, here we go.
You look at their rules. Their rules have a purse split for a mandatory challenger. A mandatory challenger is guaranteed at least 30%. If I invoke my mandatory and I'm guaranteed 30%, why the hell would I accept 25? And right after he told him no, what did he do? He petitioned to invoke his mandatory, which guarantees him at least 30%. But he asked for 50. So he's probably going to end up with 35%. That's just smart business. I don't have to take 25% if the rules say I'm guaranteed 30. Only a fool would do that.
Okay, so he didn't take the 25%. He wanted 5% more. Let's just say he got.
Do you know what 5% more is when you're talking millions of dollars?
Absolutely.
And you got to pay your corner. That's half his trainer's salary.
I do good in real life, so I know about them percentages. They yes, they're very, very crucial. I'm not disagreeing with the big homie Crown Jewel.
I'm not homie. I'm just another guy.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? The homie. Y'all got jokes. See, this why I don't be coming up here no more. Y'all got jokes. No, but the definitely 5% is definitely a major. Mm-hmm. I mean, bruh, like, come on, let's be honest. But again, you asking Devin Haney to once again drain himself down. We know he can't make the weight no more, and here you come in and asking for 50%, and nobody knows.
No, but he knows he's not gonna get 50%. Listen,
I got a house in Jersey. I rock with Shakur Stevenson.
Me too.
Heavy. But let's be honest.
I'm from Jersey.
No, okay. So nobody knows who he is, bro. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows Shakur Stevenson.
Oh, hold on. We can't just say that. We got to look at facts.
Nobody knows.
Factually, they both fight on free TV.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They do very similar numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They were on the same network. And Shakur is a 2-division former unified champion.
Okay.
So we ain't going to, and a former Olympian, which Devin is not. So now we're not going to sit on here and act like Devin has this huge resume that Shakur doesn't have. Let's be real.
No. He don't got I don't want to compare their resumes because, they
and Devin is not a big draw.
No.
He hasn't sold out a stadium on his own yet. Shakur did it twice.
Well, let me say this.
Shakur had it packed out in Newark a couple months ago.
Yeah, but where has Devin had it packed out at?
I mean,
I
can't really argue with that too much about. I don't like to get into the ticket sales and the.
But that's what dictates how much they make.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That may be true, but I'm just saying I don't really get into it. I mean, all I know is, Shakur was offered to fight, and he didn't take it for his personal reasons, and here we are.
That's not true. He invoked his mandatory, which means he did attempt.
Okay, so why
he just wanted a bigger percentage?
Why is the fight not being
they're waiting on the WBC, and Devin is not accepting his terms, so the WBC has to enforce the terms. And as far as expecting Devin to weight drain again, I for one said after the first Kambosos fight, he looked like a skeleton at the weigh-in.
Yeah, it was over.
At 135 no more, right?
Right.
But Devin came out and said, there will be no more 135-pound champions this year. I'm not leaving. I'm not ducking no smoke, and said that he wanted Shakur and Tank when they were contractually tied up with other people. And as soon as everybody's free, you don't hear that no more. He could have easily said, I can't make 35 no more. I'm going to 40. No, he's elected to keep his titles.
Mm-hmm.
Say nobody else is going to get him. But, I'm going to go fight at 140. And, just coincidentally, I'm going to fight Regis Prograis after he looked horrible in his last fight. When I never said his name prior to him having that horrible performance in his last fight. It's just the writing's on the wall. It's just so obvious what he's doing.
Hey, I gotta snatch your chain for that prize. I gotta snatch your chain, man. And I'm gonna tell you,
I thought you was gonna get me again.
I'm about to snatch your chain, and I'm gonna tell you why I gotta snatch your chain. The thing is this: when we talking about Devin Haney, man, we cannot just say because we like the kid or we like some of the stuff he do that he's not making crazy decisions. Because I'm gonna tell you, if that was Canelo that just did this, you will have a field day.
No,
it will be a field day.
Devin Haney doesn't have nowhere he can go. He either has to fight Shakur. He has to fight Shakur. We did this already, but I'll say it again. He has to fight Shakur. He has to fight Regis, or he has to fight a Loma rematch, or what was the other fighter? Teofimo Lopez. If it's not one of them four people, you will hear Prize Fighter get up on his platform and tell you about how he feels about Devin. Until then, until he selects one of the opponents, I don't got nothing bad to say about the kid. I don't give a damn about his ticket sales. I don't care about his.
Hey, we in the first 30 minutes, man.
I gotta ask you a question.
I said I don't give a damn about. We can't say damn.
No.
Oh Lord, I don't care about his ticket sales. I don't care about none of that. The kid is on track to be. He's the undisputed champ, like Bruce said in the chat. The prize is undisputed, so pay for that. You know the man got to make weight. You know all these things. I feel what Crown, the homie Crown, saying about everybody clear to fight. You don't hear nothing. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We might get an announcement. We don't know. So I'm not getting up here talking bad about Devin. He doing what he's supposed to do. And
here we go.
Number one lightweight in the world. The number one 135 pounder in the world.
Before y'all finish, let me read some of these comments real quick before you get going. He said, "What's good, Prize? You joined G5 Gabe. Prize is part of BVO, so whatever BVO doing, we're a team on that."
Who asking me that?
G5, yeah. Salute to my
G5,
man.
Shout out to G5 Gabe. Y'all go subscribe to G5 Gabe.
Yeah, that dude was hilarious, man.
Hell yes.
Yes. Salute to my man Bruce Gas, Jazz, and more, man. Salute to him, man.
Green light. What up, boy?
Salute to my man Green Light. He said Devin. Oh yeah, salute to my man Green Light. But this is the thing I gotta say. But then I'm gonna let you go. Crown. I think it's crazy because when it comes to Canelo, y'all hold this man to these crazy lofty expectations. But when you see Devin Haney do what you would call a Canelo move, you say,
what did he do? What's so Canelo?
He's fighting a guy after he looked like garbage, man.
We don't know who he's fighting. He doesn't have a fight time, BBO.
He's fighting Regis.
So he tweeted today he's fighting Regis in October.
We don't know that until I see the fight day. Why y'all worried?
Devin Haney tweeted that today.
I don't care what Devin Haney tweeted. I don't care until a fight announcement, until I see a postcard, until I see a venue and all that. I don't care what none of these young boys say.
Here we go.
I gotta ask you a question, Prize Fighter.
I'm not worried about what none of these young boys talking about right now. You heard me?
You're not worried about what he's saying about himself?
Bro,
yeah.
Don't you know how many fighters and athletes just tweet any?
But I got a question along those lines, though. The original question I wanted to ask you. You named all these fighters where you said he has nowhere to go. He's got to fight one.
I keep calling my phone all crazy.
Did you hear me? I know you said you
run it back.
You named the list of fighters where you said he had to choose one of them. He has nowhere else.
He has to choose one of them fighters.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna finish. Mm-hmm. Why isn't Gervonta Tank Davis one of those names, being as though he spent the last 3 years calling Gervonta's name crazily when Tank couldn't control his own destiny?
Okay, that was.
Hold on. Now that he's a promotional free agent, so is Tank. They have no contractual obligations to anybody, so a fight could be made. Why is he not saying his name now?
Okay, remember when I was like, he has to fight Tank, he has to fight T.O., Regis, one of them names. Not Tank. I'm sorry. Yeah. Remember, I was like, what's the other fider's name? And I can't remember off the top of my head. Well, Tank was the guy that I missed, that I didn't.
Okay, yeah. That's all. I just want
to know. So if Devin doesn't fight one of them names, let's run them down for the people again. Yeah. So we said Tank, we said Regis, we said T.O., a Loma rematch. Am I missing somebody?
Well, see, my thing is different. I get you. I can feel what you're saying. My thing is this. To me, he has two choices. And only two choices he has are his mandatories. And the reason I say that is because he's came out and said there will not be another lightweight champion of the world this year because he's not leaving and he's not ducking no smoke. So when you're saying you're not willing to give those titles up, you're in effect saying you still campaign as a lightweight, and you have 2 mandatories. I think you ducking when you run to the next weight class, and that's what Canelo did when he fought Bivol. It just backfired.
But Canelo can make the weight. That clearly Devin Haney looked like.
Then if you can't make the weight, vacate the title and put a 140.
All right.
Don't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Because you holding up these other fighters' careers.
I can't disagree with that too much, but again, I mean,
that I'm just saying what he said and his father said.
I can't go off of what they be saying, all kinds of stuff, though. All of them say stuff.
But my thing is this. As a former fighter, a current trainer, somebody's been in boxing a long time, I saw him at the weigh-in for Kambosos. I said, he looks unhealthy. He shouldn't even have done a rematch. I thought he should move up immediately. He chose not to. Even after the second one, it was him who came out and said, and then his father doubled down. There will be no more 135-pound champions. We're not going nowhere. We want all the smoke. So at some point as a fan, I want you to stand on what you said.
The undercard.
You can't come out and say, I'm taking all comers, maybe later, or maybe not. Nah. Say what you mean and mean what you're saying. Like I said, we all have eyes. Yeah. You know, we're same-minded individuals. If you can't make the weight, you can't make the weight. But don't hold the belts hostage then.
But I'll just say this. I gotta say this. And Prize is my guy. He's a good brother.
Mr. Undercard said Mr. Cap a lot, BVO boxing. Just to let you know.
But this is what's going on right here, Crown. This is what it is. My man Prize is hopping in the booth for these guys. And he gonna go ahead and cape up, and that's what he's gonna do, man. I get it. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, you got me messed up.
And I don't want nobody to get it twisted. I respect Devin Haney's talent. I was at his second pro fight. I actually got to speak to the young man. Told him I respected what he done. I think he needs a marketing coach so he can talk to his strengths instead of talking like a killer when he's not. And I think he should fight his style. I think he has an identity crisis. He tries to fight like a puncher and he can't punch. He's a great boxer. Just outbox people. And stop saying you're going to F people up and stuff like that. That's not what you do. You should say stuff like, I'm going to box his ears off or I'm going to outclass him. Because, and like I said, I think him and his father, the way they talk is why people like me are so rough on him. Because I came out the gate very, very big on him. But I'm also a person, like you said, you got a house in Jersey. I'm from Jersey. I want to see you stand on what you say. You can't come out. We had a guy in my gym when I was growing up. His name was Kevin Killer Watts, right? A lot of people had a problem with him because he was a boxer and a mover, and his nickname was Killer. Them two don't go together. You know what I mean?
They don't.
You have to.
Well, aren't we diving a little deep
to match your performance?
Ain't we diving a little deep? Worry about they. Come on, man. I ain't pausing. Anybody that, and I'm gonna say this on the air, and anybody, I ain't pausing no more. When I get on these YouTube streets, I'm not saying pause. If you think I gotta say pause, drop your girlfriend off at my new house, and I promise you, I won't have to say pause again.
Yeah, well, I don't the whole
moving right along.
I'm
man, I'm too old for that.
Oh, here you go. I'm gonna read a couple of these comments. Salute the QQ TYT fans. She said, "I'm not sure why Bill said Devin was staying at 135. He not on the same page with Devin about that 135 business."
That's not true because he didn't vacate the titles. But go ahead.
I think the thing that we missing with this. Salute to my man Prize. Salute to my man Undercard. I think the thing that we missing here. I think the thing that we missing here is that when you talk about a guy like Shakur, man, we got a guy like Shakur, man. You want to see him fight the best, right? And what Devin is doing is hanging on to the belt so he can't get one, and I think that's unfair. We say all the time we want guys to fight the best. We want guys to show they're the best. But when we see a guy, duck three guys at that division, man, we got to just call it out. At the end of the day, we all love Devin Haney. We all love Bill Haney. As goofy as they are, we got love for them brothers, man. They came from Oakland. I think Bill Haney is one of the best con men in boxing. He did a good job of conning a lot of great trainers to get them to treat his son. And all he did was rip him away from his son and think his son could be on autopilot. And now we see him what we're dealing with today. If you listen to him in that Lomachenko fight, he told his father, hey, that stuff you saying is not working. So no matter what we say, like my man Crown is saying, which is I'm surprised because usually my man Crown don't be knowing what he's talking about. But you know what he's talking about in this. You know what he's talking about in this. And we got to call it out, man. The fact is this, man. Bill Haney is doing what he's always doing. Same with Devin Haney. They're conning people. They don't want to fight the best. They never did. If they did, they can make the weight. Devin's not the biggest guy I've ever seen at 135. He's not. There's been guys bigger than him. I think Easter Bunny was bigger than him. And he can make that. So at some point, man, we just got to call it what we see, man. What he doing is, hey, I see a guy that looks weak. Now I want to fight him. That's just what it is.
I think I agree with you there, but what I'll say is this. I don't hold him as harshly when it comes to Shakur as I do Tank because they've had consistent energy with Shakur. They've never came out and said they wanted to fight Shakur. They've always said down the line, maybe at 147, when it'll happen, it'll be for everything, and we gonna see. You know, they've always said later for Shakur. But he spent the last 3-4 years of his career chasing clout off of Tank's name. You've been calling the whole time Tank was contractually obligated. He was calling his name. Then the whole time he had a 3-fight deal, and everybody knew he had Kambosos twice, and Loma was going to get the winner. So he had those with 2 opponents. He was calling Tank's name the whole time. Then I can get out my contract. I can fight Tank. And then as soon as Tank's not with Floyd, he can do whatever he wants. Devin's not with Top Rank. He can do whatever he wants. You haven't heard him sound out the letter T, let alone say Tank. And to me, that's weak.
Hey, but moving right along, man, as we get into one of the biggest fights, man, that we could ever imagine. Can you guys believe we about to have probably the number one? I would say he's number 2 pound for pound in the world, right behind Jamel. But the fact that we about to have Monster Inouye fight the local kid, you know, you guys in that Philly area about to fight Scooter.
I'm rocking with Scooter because.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Scooter about to put hands and feet on that.
This is the thing I'm gonna ask you because I know you unbiased, Crown. I know you come straight.
I am biased. I'll tell you. I came up in the amateurs with the guys.
but let me ask you this: will you guys still support Scooter when Inouye stops him? That's the question.
Listen, I
100%.
Win, lose, or draw.
See, that's what's wrong with these new boxing fans. The fighter lose one fight and they jump off the train, and then when they come back and win again, they back on the train. I don't care if that Japanese boy knocks Scooter out in the first round. When Stephen Fulton fight next, I'm still going to root for him. I'm come from the old school boxing, not these new cats where you can't lose one fight, or if you get hit 50 times in the fight, it's the end of the world. Like, what is that? Like, these new dudes get up here and they like, oh, well, Frank Martin, you know, he lost. He got hit way too. It's a whole, the dude rumbling.
Yeah.
So when is it cool? Go ahead. Like, it's crazy.
I'm critical of Frank Martin just because I thought he should have showed a lot better against that caliber opposition, especially when
dude was game though.
He is. But what I held him to a high standard again was his mouth. He said he's ready for Shakur.
Who, Frank?
Yeah. He said that. Nobody else said it. So
he should be ready, but I mean, he's 28 years old, but he got a late start.
Don't put him in the same state as Shakur right now. So you know what I mean? I hold him to that because of what he said. But as far as like, I agree with you with the young fighters. You asking, will I still rock with Steve Fulton? A stablemate of mine, God rest his soul, Evander Johnson.
R.I.P. Evander Johnson,
champion of the world, right?
Yeah.
He lost his first 3 title shots. He won the title on the 4th try. Listen, anytime he was getting a title shot, I'm hopping on the plane and I'm going to support him because that's how I'm cut. I don't give a damn if he lost the last one. If I rock with you, I rock with you. I'm not a fair weather supporter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not undefeated. You know what I mean? Every time you climb in that ring, that's only 2 things you can come out. There's a winner and there's a loser. But to me, when it comes to average people, the fact that you step through those ropes when 99.9% of the men walking this earth will not, you're already a winner.
And you know, speaking of knockouts, shout out to my man Undercard. I know he went to bed in the ring. So
whoa. Don't do that. Don't get
Listen,
up there.
Anybody can go to bed, bro.
Don't get up there. Don't get up here on this disrespecting that man who got.
You see what he doing, man?
Hey, hold on. I'm not doing that. The man got in the ring, and
he did. He did.
That's all. That's
that deserves respect. Absolutely.
What the fuck you say?
That's all I can
and
say
he
to
kept it
that.
100.
What the fuck you say?
All I can say is that, man. But I say that when it comes to Steve, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, he said I did not I did a nice short for Fulton on my page. You saw Prize Fighter. He said that's not true. It's more than two things: win, lose, win, loss, draw, cripple, death. All was happening in the ring.
I'm just speaking of fight results. I missed draw, but again, I don't think you need to educate me on death because you heard me speak of my friend Levander Johnson, who died defending his IBF title in 2005. So he fought September 17th, died September 22nd. So I'm well aware that you can die in the boxing ring. Nobody has to tell me that. But I'm just saying, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a winner or a loser. Both guys can't be a winner. And if I'm rocking with a guy, I'm rocking with him, regardless of the outcome.
I gotta say,
shout out Greenlight. Yes, I did catch your short on Stephen Fulton. Yes, I did, sir.
I gotta say this though, man. You know what? RIP to your friend. I gotta ask you guys something. When you see a puncher, boxer like an Inoue, how do you guys see Scooter winning against him? That's the question. How can Scooter beat a guy like that? Who's beat a guy like Donaire, who's going to walk right into the Hall of Fame? Tell me how you guys.
I just see Stephen Fulton can do whatever he wants, whatever he chooses to do. If he go in there and bang with him, he can do that because I don't think that Inoue hits harder than Figueroa. That's my opinion. Y'all might argue it. That's fine. You can argue. I don't think he can hit harder than Figueroa, and or Schoolboy can just box circles around this bull because the bull ain't really never been in there with nobody like Stephen Fulton. And I feel like that Stephen Fulton has been in the ring with somebody, I ain't gonna say similar to Inoue, but come on, let's be honest. Brandon Figueroa, again, he can crack, bro. And Schoolboy stood right there. He got hurt a couple times. He weathered the storm. You know what I'm saying? He did everything he was supposed to do. Then he came out on top, bro. I can't see the little Japanese boy whooping Schoolboy from the city, and he's not going out like that. I promise you. Mark my words.
I'll say this in my response to it. I think Scooter's the bigger, stronger guy. I think he's the more slick boxer. And similar to what Prize Fighter just said, I think he can walk to him and fight him because he is the bigger, stronger guy. Or I think he can slick. I think he can slick him because he's a polished boxer. I think Scooter has options, which is why I'm picking him.
Right. Facts. Big facts.
I'll say this, man. When you talking about Inoue, this is the thing. People forgetting off the angles. He's in a smaller weight class, showing some type of skill that I've never seen. I mean, if you want to give Scooter credit for beating a guy like Fig, which I really would, because Fig just went in there and beat Max Marcel. So
yeah, what's McCullough on your heels, bro?
Hey, what do you say?
Hold on.
I'm gonna after I finish this.
Undercard want to rumble you in the ring, dog. He ain't talking about rumbling you on the YouTube. He talking about lacing them up.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. This is the thing, Crown. He don't understand. I'm the undisputed bottle champion. So all I'm gonna do is walk behind you and pop you with a bottle. So, hey, they call me the Puff of the bottle champion. So unless you want a mo bottle on your head, quit talking crazy. But I say this, man. But when you talk about Stephen Fulton, I want to give a kid a lot of praise because a guy like Inoue is dangerous. A guy like Inoue is not an easy guy, and we all know Stephen Fulton actually is having a hard time making that 122.
That's
it was kind of already.
My bad.
No, go ahead. It kind of already was set in stone that he was going up to 126. So the fact is this: we got to give both these guys credit because what they doing is considered stupid now. They really want to see who's the best. You know what this fight really?
They getting paid. They ain't doing nothing stupid. They getting
no,
paid.
but what I'm saying is usually people don't take these type of fights. But this is what I'll say. This fight reminds me. What's that dude? Alex. He
Rocha?
fought
Alex Rocha.
Rocha, yeah. You remember when he not Alex Rocha, the dude. Then he fought. What's the guy? Aaron Pryor. He fought Aaron Pryor. What's
Alexis
Arguello.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be like a lot like Arguello and Aaron Pryor. I really do. I think it's going to be really a fire show.
We can only pray.
And I don't think that damn Japanese boy ain't nowhere in the near the level of either one of them fighters you just named.
Oh, stop.
I'm going to say this, though.
Go
I
ahead.
want to know why we're not praising Steve Fulton for going to Japan in a much tougher fight, much riskier fight, the way we were praising Devin for going to Australia to fight a cream puff.
And I'll tell you this, salute to my man Q, the lost art of boxing. He said something pretty profound I'll never forget. Stephen Fulton is everything people wish Devin Haney was. So he said, what he said? Hold on one second. He said BBO just like Tim Bradley. Stop calling a grown man a kid with the love.
Cool boy ain't never been undisputed. What are we talking about? Everything that Devin was supposed to be. Devin undisputed.
No, when I say everything Devin, I'm talking about talent wise.
We overplaying that undisputed too. He won undisputed in one fight in one night against one of the weakest undisputed champions in the history of the sport. Let's call it what it is. Any of the top 6 fighters in the lightweight division would have beat Kambosos.
Absolutely.
That's why he jumped on that fight.
Except for Teofimo Lopez.
Oh, here we go. See, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying he lost.
This is the thing I'm gonna tell you.
At that point, I didn't consider
he
Tito
was
one
sick.
of the top 6.
He was sick. This is what I'm gonna tell you. But it's the same Teofimo Lopez who's never took a tune-up. You can't put nobody under 140's resume up to Teofimo Lopez. Am I wrong? Crown? Is anybody can compare to him?
He's got
resume wise
wins. They're very
against
friends, but they're
against Hall of Famers. Against Hall of Famers.
Okay, but he's got
hold on.
Crazy.
Have you seen anybody dominate Josh Taylor like that?
Josh Taylor looked old in that fight, so I got.
Here we go.
I mean, that's the reality. Fighters age out. We got to see how he looks in this next fight. Now, if he comes out in his next fight and he looks decent, then we'll say, all right, that winner's going to age well. But if Josh Taylor comes out and looks like horrible in his next fight, we're gonna say, yeah, he caught him at the right time. You know
that Josh Taylor beat Jose Ramirez, and he beat your boy Regis Prograis.
We do know fighters go backwards after a while, right? We do know Evander Holyfield lost to James Toney at one point, right? A middleweight, right?
James Toney and he lost to John Ruiz, I believe, too.
Yeah, yes, he did. So let's not act like fighters don't digress or don't regress.
But we never seen anybody do him like that. Just like we never seen
never seen him at that age.
Let me ask you this: Did Devin dominate Loma the way Tio did?
It was the same fight. It was the same fight.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't even close. So
why you get
Loma ran from Tio for the first half of the fight and respected his power. He didn't run from Devin, and I didn't see him really hurt Tio in that fight the way he hurt Devin either. I was saying the Loma Devin fight. Loma landed all the bigger show warrior punches. He didn't do that in the T.O. fight.
I feel like it was the same similar fight. I felt like Devin Haney, not Devin Haney, but Lomachenko waited the same way he waited against Lopez, against T.O., and he paid for it. And I think
but he didn't wait as long.
What the fuck you say?
And he had much more success against Devin than he did against T.O.
I wouldn't disagree with that too much, but it's still kind of the same. Loma didn't start fighting till the end.
Loma had the same flaw in both fights. That's true.
That's what I was.
But his flaw didn't hurt him as bad against Devin as against Tio.
No.
And what your boy undercard is saying is true. Loma really beat the brakes off of Haney in a lot of pieces in that fight. And I'll tell you this: I think Devin Haney barely won by the skin of his teeth. But I don't know. Maybe what they said was true, man. Maybe it was his hair. Chris Algieri said that or what, but it looked like the person who landed the most impactful punches was Loma in that fight.
It wasn't the hair.
What was it?
When Loma hit Haney, he moved. Hair when Haney hit Loma was able to continue to come forward. Every time he hit Haney, he moves Haney. Haney's body language changed. Haney looked distressed. You see him up against the ropes, throwing his, he looked like he was under pressure. He was never able to make Loma look that way. So a lot of people want to say, oh, he had an afro. And when he got hit, his hair moved. No.
That's corny to say, bro.
It is. Devin landed his biggest shots in that fight to the body. Loma landed all the big head shots in that fight. And traditionally, even though I know how much body shots hurt, traditionally, when you're judging a fight, more credit is always given to the cleaner, more effective head shots. Period.
Always. And that's the thing. We want to blow smoke and act like Loma didn't go in there and really almost stop Devin in the 11th round. I mean, if he didn't have such a crazy ego, and that's been, you know what? Let's be honest here. Loma's ego has ruined him. it's ruined him in two of his biggest fights because his ego always takes over and he doesn't do what he needs to do to execute a win. So this is what I'll say to that.
Not to mention he's a sore loser and a crybaby.
Yeah, the stuff that he said he would do, like, oh, we're gonna protest the fight. Yeah, come on, man. That was we don't got no time for you crying because you didn't take the fight over, because the fight was there to be had. Salute to my man Vic said they showed the replays and it was a gang of missing. He said undercard said pillow fisted Haney. Yup. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if Haney is pillow fisted or is he not turning his punches over. Because I've been watching him, man, and I don't see that hand going all the way over. And I got to tell you this. The thing that Devin Haney is missing is just a trainer. At the end of the day, Bill Haney is just not the guy. And I'm not trying to say something about Bill Haney or go against Bill Haney. Salute to my man Undercard saying Undercard is Undercard says he's the Uncle Ruckus of boxing. I agree with that, Undercard. I feel like you are the Uncle Ruckus of boxing. Wait,
who's the Uncle Ruckus of boxing?
No, Undercard said he's the Uncle Ruckus of boxing, which is cool.
Uncle Ruckus says Uncle Ruckus is a perfect name for BBL boxing.
Hey, he said, "Save the white tears. Loma lost. Loma has the same faults his whole career." I'm gonna say this, Vic, and I'm gonna say this, Undercard. The thing is, when I would watch boxing, man, I'll watch it to see the fight. I don't watch it to see what the race is. I don't watch it to see who's winning. Because when I was growing up, there was a guy named Oscar Golden Boy De La Hoya, who's my favorite fighter of all time.
Here we go.
So when we talk about a guy like that, that's what we do. We got to talk about guys like that, guys like Teofimo Lopez, who are in that same ilk, who will go up and say, who's the best guy? I want him. I want to fight him. I want to make sure I can make a fight happen. But you know what? We rather see my man Tank Davis keep going in these showcases where he got a guys who have no chance of beating him. Absolutely zero chance of beating him. When is the last time you seen Tank in a fight other than the Ryan Garcia fight that you thought he could lose? Let's be honest here. Other than Ryan Garcia, when have you ever seen Tank fight
you're the only one
that you think can stop him?
You know you're the only one that thought that Tank.
That's not true. That's not true. You talking about the first 4 division undisputed champion, Bernard, the executioner Hopkins said the same thing. So I got
that promotes on Golden.
Hey. We talking about Bernard Executioner Hopkins from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. One of the best middleweights we ever seen. Said this. I can't go against him. Can I go against Oscar De La Hoya, the same guy that beat Pernell Whitaker? Come on, man. The same guy that beat Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
So if Oscar tell you to jump off the bridge, you gonna jump?
This is the thing. See, you're a jokester, and I got nothing but respect for you, man. You my brother. But I'm just asking you this, man, and I gotta snatch your chain for that. What do you mean? Do you want to see the best fight the best, or do you not?
Absolutely.
So you telling me, I'm asking you this. If you ask Tank, if Tank did the same things that Tio did, if he fought that same type of accomplishments, what would you say about Tank? You can say
Tank is I would say what I've been saying. He's top 10 pound for pound. What's the problem?
How in the world is he on your pound for pound list? He ain't fought nobody.
That's your opinion, and I feel like that his IQ. I don't base it off just resume and accolades.
See, what are we talking about here?
Okay, in order to create a pound for pound. Okay, in order to create a pound for pound list, right? You got to have some kind of criteria, right? So, what's your criteria? I'll ask you. What is your criteria to get on BBO's boxing pound for pound list? 1, 2, 3, go.
What I say is this: if you want to be on a pound for pound list, this is a list that was made because at one time people thought Sugar Ray Robinson was better than Joe Louis. So we got to give that history about that first. But the main thing is, if you are a pound for pound fighter, I'm saying if I put you at any size, would you beat the guy? Would you beat the top guys? That's just pretty much this. If Inoue was the same size as Terrence Crawford, he would stop Terrence Crawford. If Inoue was the same size as Tank, he would stop Tank.
Based off of BBO?
But let me ask you this.
No.
BBO, you tripping.
What are you based off of what? What makes you say these things? What makes you get up here on the airways and say, like Inoue with his 147, he would stop
ESPN? ESPN make him say that.
That's cap. The thing is this: when you see Inoue fight,
come on up, drop the link. Then drop the link.
This is the make sure this.
He said, answer the question.
This is the thing. When you say that, let me ask you this: have you seen a guy that? And Crown, you've been in this 37 years, almost 40 years. Have you seen a guy that small, other than Manny Pacquiao, that exhibit that kind of skill? You tell me. You know boxing.
First, hold on. You going way left. Exhibit that kind of skill. Are we not going to talk about Ricardo Finito Lopez?
No, I'm talking about the last 20 years.
I'm just saying, you got to stop. We ain't talking about Mark Too Sharp Johnson, Tom Boom Boom Johnson, Prince Nassim Ahmed. Like we've had several little guys that were skilled. That's the problem with today's generation. We see somebody looks good and say, "Oh, we did it with Lomachenko. Oh, he's the greatest ever." Like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being big on somebody. There's nothing wrong with respecting their skill set.
Well, they go too far, bro. They go too far.
Let's not act like there haven't been world-class fighters doing this.
I'm gonna mute myself out real quick, BB. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's too high a praise, man. Let's not discount all these other great fighters we've had just as we got a guy that's looking good right now. Because again, let's not forget a few years ago, Bob Arum was telling people that Lomachenko was better than Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, and all these other people, and he's 17-3 right now. So we got to stop. You know what I'm saying? In a way, like Lomachenko gets a lot of praise because he uses angles, which is something that a lot of people don't do now. But if you go back to the 80s and 90s, with the Pernell Whitakers, the Meldrick Taylors, and those guys, everybody was fighting off angles. It only looks great right now because nobody else is doing it. You remember a guy named Michael Nunn? Beautifully pulled off angles. So, I mean, I'm not saying Inoue is not a great fighter. That's not what I'm saying. He's where he's at for a reason. But we're not going to sit and act like he's the second coming to Jesus. Come on, let's stop.
Here we go. See, this is the thing that you do, Crown. And that's what I don't understand. When you beat a guy like a skilled guy like Gary Russell, I mean, honestly, man, Loma beat the brakes off of Gary Russell. We never seen Gary Russell look that bad ever.
Is he the only guy? Mark Masayo beat him too and beat him pretty soundly. I was there.
Well, he had one hand, man.
No, guess what? Man. Guess what? I was ringside for that fight. He was doing well. He was doing better before the injury than he did after. Gary Russell was in the fight before the injury. After the injury, when he started using that one arm and fighting on the outside, he actually was in the fight then. Masayo dominated the first 3 rounds before he got hurt. And how did he get hurt? He got punched in the shoulder. So he didn't just get injured. Masayo injured him.
Here we go. Salute to my man, Vic. What's up with you, Vic, man? Tell this dude about Inoue, man. Tell this brother about Inoue, man.
No, man, I'm about to tell you about Inoue. You crazy as fuck. That little fucking steroid freak. Look.
Hey, see, my bearded brothers know what's going on. You know what I mean? BBO, you can't grow a beard, so you don't know what's up.
Here we go.
Hey, that boy hiding from Fulton right now. That first setback.
What the fuck you say?
I think that was a. That's him cycling out. That man wasn't hurt. It wasn't nothing wrong with that motherfucker. He done dragged Fulton way to Japan so he can get as much juice as he want and all the refs. So now Fulton got everything staked against him. I think it's a bad move on Fulton's part, honestly. But if he pull it out, he the greatest thing smoking.
I don't think it's the worst move. I think it's something like $6 million, and he never would have seen that here. And at the end of the day, it's called prize fighting. So go ahead and go get your prize, homie.
So what happens? So let me ask you this, Vic. So what happens when your boy Scooter is asleep? What happens
if he knock him out? He got to knock somebody out in America where he don't have all his royalties.
Oh, here we go.
Man, hey, this is a question I want to ask about Inoue. This is what I want to ask. Mm-hmm. Okay, he was in the division. What was it? What did he start at? 115 or 112? 115, 112, somewhere in there. Okay, so 112. Okay, how do you skip over Estrada, fucking Chocolatito? How do you skip over 3 Hall of Famers and then they put you at the top of the pound for pound list? I don't understand that. How do you go right past them? Not fight any of them.
Signed to the right people who got some money. First of all, these pound for pound lists, I don't hear anybody talk about ESPN's list or the Rings list. You know why? The Ring magazine is owned by Oscar De La Hoya. So if a promoter owns the Ring magazine, how can his rankings be unbiased? And then when you talk about ESPN's pound for pound ratings, right? They have fighters that are signed to them, so they're gonna be biased to their fighters. I don't want to see any pound for pound lists that are made by people who have vested interest in fighters. Those lists mean nothing.
Well, let me ask you this before you go, Vic. Let me ask you this. Now, I just want to ask you a serious question. Now, growing up, Crown, did you not get the pages of the Ring magazine and put them up on your wall like I did?
It wasn't owned by.
Hold on. I'm asking the question.
I got a case full of Ring magazines right now, older ones. Yes, and every time one of my friends was in it, I made sure I bought it. But I will say, we have a local paper called the Lang City Press, right? It used to be printed right here in town. It had daily news. It was up to date. It was our Bible, right? Warren Buffett bought it, moved it to Times River, and you got to give them stuff 2 weeks ahead of time to get it in the paper, so it's outdated. It's no longer the same publication it once was, and neither is the Ring.
Hold on. Let me say that. Let me say this before
you. The Bible of boxing. It was.
It's not.
Everybody else that grew up in boxing looked to it, but when Oscar De La Hoya, who employs fighters, buys it, and now it's going to be biased towards his fighter, it can't have the same credibility because it's owned by a promoter. There's a conflict of interest.
But that makes no sense.
Journalism.
But that makes no sense. I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't make any sense. Because if you remember who Oscar was as a fighter, Oscar was the can man. He fought anybody.
That doesn't matter.
Hold on. He fought anybody, and Oscar has always given fighters their credit. Always.
That's
to this
true.
day. Listen, he hates
never
Floyd
gave
Mayweather.
Floyd his credit.
Hold on. He said hold on. Since we want to make up stuff that's not correct, he said that Floyd is the greatest. He said Floyd is the greatest fighter ever.
And so every time he had a fighter fight against him and said he was going to lose, he said Shane Mosley was going to beat him. He said Canelo was going to beat him.
After Shane Mosley got beat up.
He has badmouthed Floyd his whole career. Only time he's bigged him up, it was when it was financially advantageous to himself. And again, none of that matters. The kind of fighter doesn't matter. He is. If I have 50 fighters in my stable, right, that I employ, because a promoter employs fighters. They're signed to me. I own these 50 fighters. And then I just so happen to buy the biggest boxing publication out there. Do you think that boxing publication is ever going to not be favorable to the fighters that I own when I own the publication too?
Well, let me ask you this. Was that not the same magazine that was the only magazine that was picking Roberto Duran to be Sugar Ray Leonard?
Did Oscar De La Hoya own that magazine at that time? Did Oscar De La Hoya own that magazine at that time?
You're trying to change the
owner's
subject.
different. The writers are different. The writers are different. The editors are different. It's not the same company.
What I say is this. Salute to my man Undercard. What do you say?
BBO.
He said BBO can't see past Oscar's leggings. I'm gonna say this. Just because Oscar De La Hoya chose to live an alternative lifestyle does not go against the fighter he was. Because I'm telling you what,
he was a hell of a fighter. It's okay.
He was a dog.
Man,
it has nothing to do with him owning a magazine and rating his fighters above people that.
Who was the first? Who was? Listen, hold on. Listen to this. Listen to this, Crown. Who was the first publication talking about Roberto Duran? Who was the first publication talking about Roberto Duran?
Did Oscar De La Hoya own it when that was happening?
That was Ring Magazine. So you trying to tell me all of a sudden because a guy decided to buy the magazine that was bankrupt so we could keep it going. Now all of a sudden it's no good. That makes no sense, man.
No, it does. I want to say this. Yeah, it does. That's just like one bad owner buy a basketball team. Like what's the guy name for the I don't want to disrespect it, but the Commanders. That guy Snyder, bro,
trash,
bro, terrible. Not only does he owns the Washington football team or whatever they're called, he owns a hockey team that's just doing bad. So he's just downright bad. Another one, Al Davis. That don't mean nothing. You can change from one bad owner to another bad owner, bro. That don't mean nothing, dog.
Al Davis got 3 championships. Go ahead, Vic.
I don't want to go too far past the little steroid freak. I want to get back.
I got you, but I gotta say one thing before we go there about this Ring Magazine argument. I'm gonna kill B.
I'm on that too, though. Let me say this about that right quick. Yeah. One thing I can say is that the Ring, probably as far as where the Ring belt who has went to, has been legit almost every time. It's almost been the best one in the division, almost every time. So
it's a reason. I used to work for the New Jersey State Athletic Commission. It's a reason why promoters legally can't own media companies because they're biased. And all the Ring Magazine belt is something that's given out by a media company. It's not real.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
But
I
usually
just want to
it's with
address
the
his
best
comment.
guy.
I just want to address his comment about the owners. And because it was credible back then, just because it changes owners, it's no longer credible. Well, a guy we probably all know and love by the name of Donald Trump, right? He used to own casinos right here where I'm from in Atlantic City, right? The last building he owned was called the Taj Mahal, right? It's no longer the Taj Mahal. It was purchased by Hard Rock and is now operating as Hard Rock. Is it still the Taj Mahal?
See, you changing the whole argument.
No, see, because I just was in Atlantic City, and that's a fact. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing. This is the thing I'm saying.
When a company changed owners, the company is different.
Yes.
But that's the thing. You can't say that because Ring Magazine always brought the boxes that you never heard of to your forefront. One of my favorite fighters.
Do they do that now, BBO? When's the last time you looked at a Ring Magazine? Anything?
When they about 3 or 4 years ago when they talked about probably about 5 years
ago. About it now.
There's my point.
4 years ago.
But listen, but this is the thing. When I wanted to learn about this kid named Amir Ahman, the young master, Ring Magazine did a whole edit on him. Before I even knew who Sugar Shakur was, Ring Magazine did a whole edit on him.
I didn't learn about Shakur.
No, I'm talking about me. Because I don't get the physical magazine, but I do look at their website. The only thing I will say about Ring Magazine is this: is that they are a little biased on how they set up the belts. No, and I'm gonna tell you why they say a little biased. Because
YouTube content creators are kicking Ring Magazine's behind over the last 2 years.
Hey, we the YTBC, man. That's what we do here. We are boxing.
But you sit here praising something that's outdated and overrated.
This is the thing. You can't go against what we came up loving. That's what I'm saying, Crown. You make no sense.
Absolutely can't. It ain't the same no more.
It ain't that.
That's just like you have a girlfriend and then she did you done met a new little thing or whatever. She ain't the same no more. You going with the new thing. The new thing is the YouTube. Nobody ain't worried about them. They desperate. I mean, they calling out YouTubers now. Like you said, that Ring Magazine is 1,000 years old. Why are they calling out YouTubers? Like they had a whole tweet for a specific YouTuber, and the YouTuber had to punish them. They even made themselves jump out the window and to make a tweet about a YouTuber.
I'm gonna give you some BVO, and I'm gonna give you some about me getting tore up. Right. Before I retired, I was still a firefighter here, and I'm arguing with one of the old head firefighters about athletics, right? And he's talking trash about me athletically or whatever. And I counter with, well, I was a professional athlete at one time. What have you done professionally, right? And you know what he came back to me with that crushed my whole argument? Can't eat yesterday's meal, Jewel. He's right. It doesn't matter what Ring Magazine was 30 years ago. They ain't that now.
They not that. They far from.
You can't eat yesterday's meal.
All I can say is this, man. When Oscar De La Hoya fought against Pamela Whitaker, no one covered that better than Ring Magazine. I'm gonna leave it at that.
We talk about 2023, BBO.
How do you know, BBO? Listen, be serious, bro.
I know my history.
Okay, how do you know who was covering the fight? Because we didn't have a lot of people to cover fights back then. It was a network doing all of that. And the Ring Magazine? But what I'm saying is, how you know who was covering on top of it like you do today in today's media?
And there's some boxing writers from like the New York Times or like Dan Raphael or Bernard Fernandez out of Philly. They cut your throat to hear you say something like that. These people put 50, 60 years in the game, man. And you're going to say they didn't cover the fights competently. Are you crazy?
Hey, dude, this is what I'm saying. Oh, you say BVO want to bring back HBO commentary.
Yeah, you think Larry Merchant's the best too, don't you?
Yeah, he think Larry.
No, I hated Larry Merchant. You know what's funny? The thing that I think you guys don't understand is I'm not one of the fans that throwing the baby away with the bathwater. I don't believe in doing that. I think at the end of the day, I think Oscar has done with Ring Magazine, preserving it because it went bankrupt, Crown. You know that.
But he can't.
Are you talking about the? My bad. Go ahead, Crown.
You can't wear both hats and do both. You're going to neglect one or the other. Because if I'm speaking as a promoter, I'm always going to say the best things about my fighters because it's in my financial interest to do that. If I'm acting as a publication, then I'm going to shit on my promotional company, which isn't doing that well right now. So there's no way he can do both jobs effectively. In order to do what's right by his promotional company, the Ring magazine has to big them up. But in order to do right by the publication, he has to admit that his promotional company is trash right now. And I can say that because I was just in Anthony Young's corner when we went out to California and fought Alexis Rocha. And trust me, I was also with Levander Johnson when he fought on Golden Boy cards, and it's nowhere near the same. They picked us up with a sprinter with ring equipment in it. We was sitting on top of speakers and shit. Golden Boy ain't the same. I'm keeping it 100.
They don't even got no fighters. I mean, they barely even treat their own fighters the right way.
They don't got fighters. They got Virgil Ortiz and they got Ryan Garcia. What are you talking about?
It looks like right
now
they got a man that keep about to fall out because he can't make weight because he probably cycling doing God knows what. And then they got a kid who has C class, C average abilities in the ring. So again, where are their fighters at?
They just not the company they want.
What's that one kid? They got that one kid. I like him.
Schofield.
Yeah.
And he just got dropped in his last fight.
Yeah. He did go down, but I'm not going to define him. That's not going to define.
It's not going to define.
It's a fight, Crown. It's a fight, Crown. It's a fight.
He got to pump his brakes on all the people he calling out though, because he don't look like he's there yet.
Crown. It's a fight. So you gonna get knocked down, right? You know it's a fight.
Hell no.
It's not a pillow fight. It's a fight.
No. It's not just about getting knocked down. It's about the level of fighter that knocks you down. When you barking up the tree at the fighters up above you, you ain't supposed to be getting dropped by nobody.
What the fuck you say? I've been in the house on.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, guys. So I know y'all seen the whole. We like less than 2 weeks away from seeing Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, and I'm gonna start with you, Prize, then I'm gonna go to you, Crown. So what do you guys think about that fight? Who do you guys have winning that fight? I want to know that from all you guys.
Say that again, bro.
I said, you know, we got the Errol Spence, the marvelous Errol Spence going against your boy Bud Crawford. Tell me about that fight and who do you see winning that fight?
I mean, to me, that's a pick 'em. You ride who you want to ride with. I can't really say who's gonna win the fight, but I know that Terence Crawford's gonna come prepared because he. You know, I like Bud, bro, because Bud be in shape year round. You know what I'm saying? He don't gotta do this and do that. But Earl looks like he's in hell of a shape. I was watching the what's it called? All Access. Mm-hmm. Earl got his teeth together. You know, they showed them getting the mouthpiece fitted. All that goofy stuff that everybody reports on nowadays. Some of these channels, you know, some of y'all channels gonna go out of business after this fight is over. Y'all know who y'all are. And but I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards. I don't know, bro. I can't do that. I rock with both of them. I can't do it. May the best man win.
Go ahead,
I'll say this.
What you think?
I got to pick. I thought before the accident, I know a lot of people don't want to hear about the accident, but it's a fact. Earl isn't the same fighter he was before the accident. His mobility is a little less. He don't have the same legs, right? He still punches. He still brings pressure, but he can't get in and out the way he once could. You know what I mean? When he's pushed back, he's not the same fighter. But I will say, in watching their last couple fights, I still pick Earl. And the reason why I pick Earl is because I've seen Terence Crawford didn't hurt by much smaller guys. Number one. Number two, Terence Crawford is a notoriously slow starter. You cannot start slow against Errol Spence. You start slow against Errol Spence, by the 5th, 6th round, you're going to have a broken orbital bone, broken ribs, and a broken nose. You cannot stand in front of him and start slow. So I think Errol Spence I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm like 55 Earl, 45 Terence in the winner. But I think if Terence is who he is and Earl is who he is, and Terence comes in with the same shortcomings he's had as of late, by the time he gets going, he's going to be absorb too many punches and too much punishment from the bigger man. And I got Earl by late round stoppage.
Stopping Terence Crawford. I don't know about that one. I don't think we're going to see a knockout.
I'll say this. In my humble opinion, I can't compete with 37 years of boxing knowledge from my man Crown. So I know you know what you're saying. Same thing with my man. Same thing with my man Prize fight. He been watching boxing.
I can be wrong. Don't get it twisted.
But let me say that. Let me say this. When you see Errol Spence, I honestly gotta say I'm picking him, but it's kind of tough because when I see the kind of shape that Terence Crawford stays in, and one thing that we're not bringing up, you brought up the accident. People don't realize Earl did not go to physical therapy, and it shows.
I hate that.
It shows. It shows that he didn't go to physical therapy.
His legs may be in better shape if he actually did go to physical therapy, but he did come out and say that he rehabbed himself, and that may be a crucial mistake. You're right.
And I think when you talk about somebody not going to physical therapy, anybody who ever had to go to physical therapy for something knows that, hey, if you don't go for your hands, your finger, I got a crooked finger that'll never be the same because I didn't go to physical therapy. And I'm telling you, overall, from what I'm seeing with Errol Spence has diminished athletically over these last few years. Does he still have
so has Terrence?
I think Terrence is dealing with his father time. I'm talking about a technician like Errol Spence should be able to go till he's 40. We all know guys that fight like him usually go till they 40. But I'm telling you,
well, don't you like when you doing that and you like killing yourself, like sucking down to a weight, that gotta have some kind of effect like wear and tear on your body.
It can take years off your career, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not going to base it off of that. I think Earl looks the best that he did in a long time. Physically, he looks good.
When
you know what also takes years off your career, prize fighter? Being in the gym constantly, putting wear and tear on your body. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, you kind of that's a fact.
Because I know guys that you like, yo, you ain't got no fight coming up, bro. You need to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah,
because the human body can only take so much.
Terrence is one of them dudes. Don't got no fight set up, but this man is like gym rat. Like that's the definition of a gym rat.
Yeah, that could be bad too. As somebody,
I
had my left shoulder done, my right shoulder done, my right wrist done. Like there's wear and tear injuries too, overuse is injuries. So it's pros and cons. Is it good to blow up between fights? No, but it is good to give your body a rest.
Yeah.
I'll just say this: when we talking about Errol, man, we got to be honest. Salute to my man Undercard.
When giving me comments,
what do you say? Crown, can I get an interview?
Green light doing rich people stuff.
Yeah. This is what I'll say. When you talking about a guy fighting like that, like a Bud Crawford, I'm just worried because Errol Spence hasn't taken his career serious, man. We can say what we want. I'm gonna tell you why.
I disagree.
This is the thing. I've never once seen a drink in Terrence Crawford's hand. I've never seen Terrence.
Here we go. He didn't see it in his hand. Don't mean it didn't happen.
But listen to what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is the thing. We always see Errol out partying. We see Bud as a family.
We used to see him go out partying. You haven't seen that.
I'm about to say, when's the last time you seen the man in there?
When he was drunk at that fight. Remember that fight, that picture you sent me where he was at? I can't think of whose fight it was. Where he had that paid in full outfit on, and he was drunk as a skunk, like he about to fall over. What fight
haven't
was that?
Seen that in recent.
That tank fight. The tank fight.
He looked different. I'll say he looked different.
He was inebriated, which is okay. That's fine. But that's what I'm saying. With a guy like Terrence Crawford, who's taking care of his body, I'm just wondering how in the world Errol's going to make that weight.
We assuming he's taking care of his body. We don't know that.
Come on, Crown. We can see by what he's doing. Crown, you can see by how he's moving. You can tell.
How can you? I don't know what that man is doing behind closed doors. I don't.
Have you ever seen him? I've never seen him blow up. I've seen Errol blow up all the time.
Well, blowing up and taking care of your body and not drinking is two separate things. Some guys, he's a naturally smaller man. He's going to retire and he's not going to blow up. He's just not going to be a big guy. He's not a big guy.
Who you talking about, Bud?
Yeah, Earl fought at a higher weight in the amateurs than he fights.
I about to say,
bigger guy.
Wasn't he fighting at like 165 or something like that?
I think he was fighting at 52 in the amateurs.
No, okay, I'm sorry. That was Sean Porter. That was
55. That was Porter. That was a super middle.
Sean Porter rumbled Usyk in the amateurs. Matter of fact.
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
And beat him. He beat Demetrius Andrade too.
And Ugas beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs.
Yeah, so that's very true.
But Earl is a naturally bigger man than him. So judging their size between fights doesn't make sense. Terrence Crawford turned pro as a lightweight. Do you think he's going to go up to 170 pounds between fights? No. Matter of fact, he turned pro as a junior lightweight. 130 pounder. So he's already up 20 pounds from where he started. So why can't Earl gain 20 pounds from 47 to 67?
This is the thing I'm saying, man. I just think you guys are not taking to the fact that Terrence has been living that fighter lifestyle, man. I'm wondering will that make Earl pay in the end? That's all I'm saying.
I think you listening too much to what the media is telling you.
No, here we go.
and we don't know if what they're saying is true. It's hearsay. You know what I mean? I don't know that Terrence don't get with his guys in Omaha and light up an ounce of weed and buy drinks for everybody and party. I don't know that. I'm not in Omaha.
Hey, so what you think, Vic? Man, what you think, man? Who you got winning, man, between Errol and
Vic, what up?
Crawford? And let me ask you this: what round do you think Errol Spence will win in that fight?
He ain't gonna win in none of that fight. He finna get his ass whooped. He finna get his ass whooped. I'm telling you.
What makes you say that?
Because Spence been built on Paul Bunyan tall tales. Not that he's not a good fighter, but all this I collect eyes. I'm the boogeyman. All these names and T-shirts and shit is not gonna save you from skills. It's not gonna save you when you off balance and over that front foot getting hit with uppercuts. It's not gonna help. All the tall tales in the world. He make too many mistakes, but we don't talk about them because Spence fans, you can't say nothing about this guy. You know what I mean? You can't say nothing about this guy. You know, if it's true.
You coming back tomorrow?
I think he's more defensively responsible than Bud is, but go ahead.
How and that's something I wanted to touch on because people keep saying that, but there's no film to show that.
Well, you saw
I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
You saw Mean Machine drop him.
When he fight a guy that's on the level, like a Porter, with decent footwork, he get hit with 5-punch combos. Defensively responsible people don't get hit with 5-punch combos.
Terrence Crawford was losing to Porter at the time of the stop.
Did he ever get hit with a 5-punch combo?
He was losing.
Not my question.
That's a bad example. He was losing the fight. He got hit with something. He was losing.
Was he losing?
Hold on.
Was he losing on a? Was he losing? Was Terrence
on an unofficial card?
No, I'm not talking about the unofficial card. Was he losing on the official scorecard at the time of the stoppage?
He was losing. I don't know. He was a loser. He was losing. Hold on. Let me answer. You asked me a question. He was losing according to Bomac, who told him in the corner that he had to go out and get a knockdown to win. That's his trainer said that.
But I know. But I'm asking.
Bomac said that.
I'm asking. Did Terrence Crawford? I'm asking, was on the official scorecards at the time of the stoppage, was Terrence Crawford up or down in the fight?
I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie.
He was actually down.
And I'm talking about defensively responsible. I saw Mean Machine drop him. I saw Uglas put him on noodle legs. He's been hurt and hit with big shots several times. You can only say one time Earl Spence was hit like that, and that was when he dropped his mouthpiece and looked down at it. And he still didn't go nowhere.
That's the third time he done dropped that mouthpiece. What do you mean that only time?
The man ain't got no teeth. What you want?
That's the third time the mouthpiece shit didn't happen.
He ain't got no teeth. What you want?
Hey, all I can say is when he started worrying about them cosmetics with Crawford, he going to sleep. When he worry about being cute, he getting fucked up.
No, he definitely can't look for his mouthpiece against Crawford.
So clearly, Vic, you didn't watch the what's it called? The 24. What they call it?
All access.
All access.
Whatever. Yeah.
I watched
it was a little segment where he went in there, to the best, allegedly the best people, the crown, to get his mouthpiece fixed up. But I do agree, if he takes his eyes off of Terrence Crawford at any time, regardless if it's a mouthpiece or not. It don't even got to be a mouthpiece. He could be looking at his mama in the crowd. He do that, he's dead.
Yeah, he can't. He knows. He knows he cannot have a lapse in concentration. That's for sure.
Bro, he take his eyes off the shot all the time. He do it all the time. That's what's crazy.
I haven't really seen him do it, but I seen him do it against who guys? I seen him do it against
Sean Porter, Danny Garcia.
Sean and Danny.
Against all the best fighters he fought.
What did he do to all those fighters?
He didn't beat them up. Not two of them. He didn't kill them. I mean, what did he do to Porter? He lost.
Hey, Crown.
Really?
Hey, Crown.
He lost the boxing match, but he won the fight.
Crown. I'll tell you what, man. And maybe because I'm from Cleveland, man. Sean Porter got shafted in that fight, man.
Porter was whooping his ass.
He got shafted in that fight.
Stop.
Leave it to BPO to go too far.
It was a close fight, and Sean Porter got dropped in the end.
That's the only reason why he lost.
And Sean Porter's not.
Why did he get dropped?
Because he got caught. And Sean Porter's not an easy fight for anybody.
Do y'all remember how bad he talked about Porter's skills leading up to that fight? Porter ain't got
I don't give a damn. Sean Porter's a hard fight for
Let me
anybody.
finish. No, don't jump in now.
Get him, man.
He said he ain't got no skills, but the reality is Porter was the better boxer in that ring. He turned Errol Spence every chance he wanted to. He tried that shit against Crawford, and it was not happening.
He wasn't the same fighter against Crawford.
Oh,
he wasn't. You heard his father say that.
No,
you can look at it. Sean, even in the middle of the fight, Sean didn't look the same. Sean,
his father said in training he wasn't the same.
Sean Porter's best performance was against Earl Spence, bro.
It was.
So at what point do we say Bud is a better fighter than some other guys? Because we having a hard time saying that he's better.
Bud is a great fighter.
Bud is a super athlete, a great fighter, a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Without question.
Is he a better boxer than Spence? Is he a better boxer?
He's more athletic than Spence. He's not more fundamentally sound than Spence.
No, he's not a better boxer.
I'll say he's a better boxer than him. I'll disagree with my brothers and say I like Terrence as a better boxer.
Spence has zero footwork.
I don't think his footwork is the same after the accident. But I'm going to say this. You can't say, hold on. You can't say he don't have no footwork when he's cutting off the ring on world-class fighters and making them stand in front of him. He's doing something right.
Who was moving?
It ain't pretty, but it's effective.
Who moved away?
Can I ask you a question?
They can't. They can't.
All statues except Porter.
Hey, Vic, can I ask you a question?
Paralyzing them.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick. Hey, Vic, when have you ever seen a Mexican do any of this stuff you're talking about? That's what Errol Spence is a Mexican fighter.
He's
when have you ever seen
Mexican? Exactly.
When have you, just like Marvin Hagler. But
he reminds me of Hagler, but Hagler was a better boxer than Earl.
Yeah, he was, because I'll give you that, because when he fought Tommy Hearns, he ran Tommy Hearns into something. So I give you that.
He boxed John the Beast Mugabe's ears off. Like Hagler boxed when he needed to. But I will say, we definitely underestimating Earl Spence's boxing skills and his jab. Like, he's not just a strong guy that's just going in there playing rock'em sock'em robots getting wins. You don't see him take a lot of punishment. So evidently he's boxing well. He has ring generalship, and his legs have to be something, because if not, he wouldn't be beating these world-class fighters.
But if you leave it up to these new cats, if he get hit one time, it's the end of the world. That's what's my problem with these people these days, with these talking boxing with these cats, because if you lose a round or two, oh my God, they can't wait to get on their whack channel and say this and that. And it's just frustrating, because both these guys are great. Earl and Terrence Crawford I like both of them dudes, man. And Earl said he is like a Tim Duncan of boxing. I know a lot of people didn't like the Spurs. They was doing their thing. Duncan was a big part of that.
Nothing flashy, right?
Nothing flashy, but Duncan does everything really, really good, bro. Everything.
Very solid.
Solid. That's a perfect word. He does everything like solid, dog. Like, so it's kind of hard for me to see.
Y'all reaching, man.
No, Earl said it, and he was right. Kevin Garnett against Tim Duncan. That's what we got here. Who athlete against a fundamentally sound guy.
Right. And which I call Terrence Crawford. You can go back and pull up our old shows where I say Terrence Crawford is a super athlete, bro. Dude is like, he can play multiple sports, bro. Like, he's just nice like that.
From what I understand, they both got a basketball game, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they talking about betting on a basketball game after this.
I'll say this, man.
I can't see Earl hooping, bro. I just can't do that.
No, I can't do that.
From what I understand, I don't know. I never seen it before. What I understand, he has.
You would have seen him. You would have seen it, bro. You would have seen him shoot. I've never seen him. I never even seen him shoot a jump shot, let alone a free throw. Or anything else.
It's one of those times where they leaked one of their FaceTimes where they were talking about each other in basketball.
Word.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta remember, these top tier athletes, most of them, they can play any sport they want, man. Most of them, if they're good in one sport, they're kind of good in the other one. You know what I mean? Most of them are great athletes.
Super athlete, Terrence Crawford. Earl Spence is like really, really good at everything.
I don't know how in the world you can say that, but I think Terrence kind of gets by on being athletic. I mean, I don't know.
He does, but what's the first thing that fails you as a fighter? As you get
athleticism.
your athleticism. That's what happened to Roy. And that's why Bernard was able to fight well into his 40s, because he didn't rely on athleticism. He was fundamentally sound.
Yes,
That's another comparison. Now, if this fight happened when they were young, Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, the athletic guy has the advantage. But older, when they fought again, it was the more fundamentally sound guy and beat Hopkins. And I think that's
terrible fight.
Yeah. The second one was. But I'm just saying, Bernard had more left in the tank late because he didn't rely on athleticism.
I don't know what y'all seeing, man. At the end of the day, man, I can say this: Errol Spence is just showing some crinks in his armor, man. And honestly, I'm telling you, I don't think y'all giving enough credit to the fact that Terrence Crawford can make adjustments right there in the ring. He don't have to go talk to Derek James. I don't think Errol Spence is that cerebral fighter.
Well, here's the thing.
Hold on, real quick, BBO. I gotta jump off. I gotta help my mom do something real quick. But shout out to BBO Boxing.
Nice talking to you, Prize.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the homie Crown Jewel. Shout out to Vic, everybody in the chat. Undercard, the homie Green Life. Y'all, shout out G.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe I could be wrong, Crown, but I just don't see why people are not realizing that.
I wanted to respond to your comment about Terrence's ability to make adjustments.
Go ahead.
Earl hasn't had to make any adjustments because he's forced all his opponents to adjust to him. That's something to be said about that too. I don't have to adjust if I make you fight my fight. And see, they say, well, he only does one thing well, right? Mm-hmm. But he does that one thing very well. How many things well did Julio Cesar Chavez do? He just basically did one thing, right?
Yeah.
But he beat the hell out of a whole lot of people doing that one thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's just so good at that one thing he does. Everybody else has to make the adjustment a lot of times. He doesn't.
Sorry, fellas.
But I just don't understand, man. That's the thing. I don't understand how we can look at a guy like a Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. And we got to be honest. I think Terrence is already great. I think this is Errol's chance to show us that he's great, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Errol's resume is not aging very well. If you look at these fighters that he fought, we gotta be honest, Crown. It's not aging very well. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you why it is. A lot of these fighters don't look well after they fight him because he destroys them. How many guys look good after Marvin Hagler beat him? Some guys just beat guys up and they don't come back the same. Wasn't the same after Earl. Udanis Ugas is not going to be the same after Earl. Like, it's just when a guy breaks your eye, breaks your nose, breaks your ribs, like that's just punishment that some of these guys are never the same again.
Mikey didn't break nothing. And Mikey came back and beat the shit out of Vargas.
I will say this. In the Mikey
drop me back down. Hold on.
Let me respond. Mikey was a Hall of Fame fighter. Oh, I got you. Mikey was a Hall of Fame fighter. Very good fight. I give us credit. I think Earl made a dumb mistake in that fight.
I'll be right back.
He got caught up in Mikey saying, you can't outbox me. You have to bang with me. And I think he went in there trying to prove he could outbox Mikey instead of just playing to his strengths and just walking to Mikey and beating him up. So I think he could have done better against Mikey than he did had he been himself. I think that was a tough lesson learned where he let a guy talk him into fighting his fight. Because Mikey kept saying, he can't outbox me. He can't outbox me. He's going to have to bang. So I think Earl went in there and tried to outbox him, which he did outbox him. But he would have been better off just doing what he does all the time.
And you saying that makes sense. But I'm telling you, man, I think if Earl can pull this fight out, man, you talk about midnight. How far up can Earl go? What do you think is next after if he wins this fight?
He's going to have to go to 154. But again, I'm one of the people that's real. The punishment his body took in that accident is going to show up at some point. So I don't see Earl having a whole lot of career left after this. You know what I mean? And which is why I'm happy he's finally getting this fight and he's making this money, because the guy's honest truth is he suffered a horrific injury in that accident. And it's only a matter of time before the effects of that greatly affects him as a fighter.
So you don't think it's already affecting him now?
No, I think it's affecting him now, but I don't think it is affecting him as much as it's going to. I think you're going to see it more and more as he ages.
I just say this, man. I'm just wondering, man. After this fight, because do you think he can beat Jermell Charlo? That's the question.
I think anybody, world-class fighters that spar each other as many rounds as they sparred each other, anything can happen because they have each other's number. It's not like two strangers fighting each other. He knows everything Jermell Charlo wants to do. Jermell Charlo knows everything he wants to do. And only they know what happens when they spar. But if you listen to them talk, it sounds like Earl gets the better of it. And for a long time, Earl was saying he was willing to fight Jermell, and it was Jermell saying he didn't want to fight Earl. It also was Jermell that came out and said Earl hit him harder than anybody has ever hit him. So, I mean, do I think Jermell has the edge right now because he's bigger and more athletic at this point? Yes. But we can't discount guys that have put in thousands of rounds with each other because they just know each other too well. We don't know what's going to happen if they fight.
It's funny because I'm gonna ask you this. So, was it just fundamentals that Jermell had to work on? Is that why he's gotten so much better? Just off those fundamentals?
I think he had to settle down a little bit. I think I don't think he lacked the fundamentals, but I think when the guys are younger and extremely athletic, sometimes they rely on their God-given gifts a little too much. And then when you have a setback, it forces you to understand that I can't just rely on my talent. I'm gonna have to fight smart too. And I think that's the difference. I think he's using his brain a little more, being a little more of a cerebral fighter, which happens to a lot of guys. You know what I mean? When we're young, in any sport, you're full of piss and vinegar. You just go out there and do what you can do because you're freakishly athletic. But when that starts to fail you, then you have to think. And I think, that first Castano fight put him in a position where he had to do that.
So let me ask you this. So why is Tyson Fury ducking Usyk? What is that about, man?
Because Usyk's a smaller, quicker, more athletic heavyweight with decent defense who's going to get inside and make him look bad. Tyson Fury was able to look great against Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder makes a lot of amateurish mistakes and has horrible defense. Deontay relies on his physical gifts, his power. He doesn't fight fundamentally sound. So Tyson Fury is able to exploit that and use his size. Usyk is a combination puncher. He's a more polished boxer. He's quicker than Fury. He's not going to allow Fury to just lay on him and wear him down. So stylistically, I just think it's not a good fight for Fury. Him and his people know that, so they're not anxious to make it happen.
The thing I'm wondering is, so will this be an indictment against his reign as heavyweight champion? Because I'm telling you, it's starting to look like one of the weakest reigns at heavyweight champion we ever seen.
I'm going to tell you this. I don't think he gives a damn. If you look at Tyson Fury, he's marched to the beat of his own drum the whole time. And the fact that he's fighting a MMA fighter who has zero professional boxing fights for a heavyweight title, and that's something I think we need to talk about. Maybe not tonight, but another time. If a black fighter, while he was heavyweight champion of the world, was fighting a guy with zero professional fights, we'd be crucifying him. We're talking trash about Floyd Mayweather for fighting exhibitions against guys now, and he's pushing 50. But the heavyweight champion of the world can do it while he's heavyweight champion of the world. It's crazy.
I think it's funny. It's funny that you bring that up because I think Tyson Fury, and I could be wrong, I think he's really benefited from the guys being so weak now in the division because I could tell you this, if he was around with a Larry Holmes would beat him pretty easy.
Tyson would go to his body and eat his lunch, bro. That soft body. Tyson would get inside and destroy him.
He said that soft body. I'll say this though. The thing about Tyson,
Riddick Bowe would destroy Tyson Fury.
This is the thing. Are you account for that 6'8" frame he got? That's a big frame.
Riddick Bowe was 6'5" with a telephone pole jab, a huge right hand, and can fight inside like he was 5'11". He would have destroyed Tyson Fury.
So I think it's funny because this is what Tyson Fury does, and I'll say this, man. He's one of the biggest con men in boxing. He talks about being great, talks about being one of the GOATs in boxing, but for some reason he has had no interest in fighting against the young fighters.
He don't care.
Lennox did it.
Rematch clause for this Ngannou guy.
A rematch clause.
Fighting a non-fighter who's making his professional debut in a heavyweight championship fight of the world, which already is appalling. Like they ranked this man, and he's never fought, so he can fight Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury has a rematch clause. That's crazy.
Ngannou is gonna look like some shit.
Can you imagine if Floyd had done this while he was still champ?
Didn't Muhammad Ali do something similar? Didn't he fight
not defending his title? Muhammad Ali did exhibitions. He never defended his title against a non-boxer.
Didn't he mess his leg up or something? Then he
he damn near broke his leg from getting kicked in the leg.
Hey.
But again, when guys are past their prime, or doing things outside of the sport, just like Floyd and Tyson went to WWE. I don't have a problem with that. But to bring a guy into the sport and defend your title against him instead of giving a title shot to the dozens of real fighters who've been working their ass off to hope to one day get a title shot, and you forego them to fight a guy that's never had a professional fight, that's crazy.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I think Tyson Fury really has exposed himself because he beat Klitschko, who's jab, right hand. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably the biggest Deontay Wilder fan there is, man. I'll tell you what, man. Deontay Wilder would get beat to death by any decent heavyweight from the 90s or 80s because he's just shown me recently.
He just relied on his power, and that's it.
Well, Vic, gotta remember he threw a shot with his eyes closed, and luckily hit him.
Absolutely,
he luckily hit Helenius and knocked him
backing up. While
I got a question. A question to put it in perspective. That man got a bronze Olympic medal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever uses that to defend him, but anybody else.
I got an answer to that.
I'm listening.
Who's the talented heavyweight that was in that Olympic class?
There wasn't one.
It wasn't no big time heavyweight.
He wasn't.
So what
like
are you talking about, Vic?
Riddick Bowe was there with Lennox Lewis and
But what I'm saying is, who is the great heavyweights in this era? I mean,
they don't exist.
What I'm
that's
saying
what
is
we're
he
saying.
can't be so much worse than everybody else.
No, that's what we're
my
saying.
point.
We're saying the great heavyweights in this era don't exist, which is why we're saying these guys, Tyson Fury and guys like Deontay Wilder, have a level of success now that they wouldn't have had in the 80s and 90s.
That's possible.
Yeah,
that's possible.
No, it's not possible because if you think about this, if he would have fought, let's just say David Tua would be champion right now. You realize that, right?
I don't agree with that.
David Tua would have beat a lot of people.
David Tua?
I don't think
David Tua did to John Ruiz. Like, my good friend John Wilson.
Jesus
John
Christ.
Ruiz was heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, he was. Don't forget that,
like
Vic.
that.
Don't forget that.
He held the title twice.
Man, okay, come on now. We can't big up everybody.
I'm just saying. I'm not bigging him up. I'm just saying. We're saying, could he have become champ?
I think Deontay Wilder is one-dimensional, but I think that one dimension, because it's funny when we talk about Spence, that one dimension is awesome, and he ain't stopping shit.
Yeah, but
Wilder getting him out of here.
It's a little different. It's a little different with Spence and Wilder. Wilder's dependent on catching you with a big shot and getting you out of there. Spence is beating guys up. Mm-hmm. They're not one of their dimension is not the same. There's more
not even close
dimension than Wilder's dimension.
But I'm just saying it's a single dimension.
It is.
You know what I mean?
But just like I said earlier, I don't know if you was listening. Julio Cesar Chavez had one dimension too.
I wouldn't say that. I would disagree with that. Actually.
What was his other dimension? Besides being a Mexican fighter that pressed forward, it went to your body and beat you into submission. What was his other dimension?
I seen Chavez box on his toes and everything.
Before. Who did he box? Who does he successfully?
I would have to go back and look.
He tried to box,
but I definitely seen Chavez.
He tried to box De La Hoya, and he had to quit on his move.
He tried to box Oscar.
I mean, Oscar was a phenom though coming in.
He was, but what I'm saying is, Chavez only had success going forward. He didn't outbox anybody. And I mean, if you can give me a name,
it's a different. This is what I say. I say it's a different kind of outbox. He had some decent head movement.
He did, but he was kind of one-dimensional. He came forward.
Yeah, he come forward, but it's smart pressure. Errol's not going forward smart. Errol just going.
Hey, listen.
He's just going.
Hey, listen. You say that, right?
When you take your eyes off the target?
No, he makes mistakes, no doubt about it. But you say he's not smart going forward. No. I don't see scar tissue on his face from cuts.
He got a detached retina. But we're gonna put it on the Rick though. We ain't gonna put it on that little Manny Pacquiao Jr. that was whooping his ass and sparring though.
Hold on, his injuries came from outside the ring, but he doesn't have a crooked nose. Guys that are not smart in their pressure, you see it on their face when they deep in their careers earliest. You don't see Earl busted up. So evidently he has some type of smarts in his pressure because he's not busted up, and he's fighting against world-class fighters for a long time now.
Yeah,
I think it don't look showy.
Everybody's face ain't gonna show. You know, but
T.O.'s face show it every time. T.O.'s face show it every time.
I'm gonna say this. If you get cut, it's gonna show. If your nose get broke, it's gonna show. When you fight world-class fighters and you're not defensively responsible, it's gonna show.
Well, that kind of roll back into, you know, Errol ain't had a chance to fight a whole bunch of punchers either. So I mean, I don't know. It's a few things in there.
At welterweight, everybody's quick and everybody can punch. Most of them punch like middleweights and quick like lightweights.
I want to say not when I look at his resume. I don't see that. I don't see a lot of well-rounded. When you finally got somebody that was well-rounded, it was Porter, and he beat on him.
Well, he beat Porter. Porter lost the fight, but stylistically, Porter's.
I'm saying Porter put major hands on him.
Well, but I'll say this: name somebody that had an easy night against Sean Porter. Nobody.
Crawford looked relaxed.
Crawford was losing the fight. It wasn't an easy night.
No, Kell Brook. If you remember that fight, Kell Brook beat the life.
Kell Brook hugged that man to death, though.
Yeah, nobody had an easy night against Sean Porter, bro. Nobody.
Kell Brook hugged that man to death.
And why would he hold him all night?
I wouldn't call it easy, but it probably the easiest to anybody though.
And here's the thing: he was a young guy when he fought Kell Brook too, but Sean Porter's just a tough out. He just is.
Yeah, he is. But he outboxed Errol.
Okay, Styles makes.
He didn't outbox nobody else.
And those triangle comparisons don't work because Duran beat Ray Leonard, Ray Leonard beat Hearns, and
it ain't about the No, it ain't the triangle I'm trying to get at. It ain't the triangle I'm trying to get at. It's a pattern that I'm getting at when it comes to Spence. It's a pattern. If somebody hands active, he not punching. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things going to count against him.
Well, he doesn't have a high output, but when he punches, he punches.
Oh, he punches in bunches now.
Yeah, and not only that, he's breaking what he's punching. That's what.
But Crawford already told that nigga, don't try that body shot shit, and he right. When he put his head down, he gonna get hit. He can't do it.
Listen, I understand why Crawford's saying that because as a smaller guy, he don't want his ribs all broke the hell up.
Hey, I'm gonna just say this, Vic. It's the thing that you're missing is this. Terrence is not the biggest guy, man. He's not the biggest guy.
He's a former junior lightweight. He turned pro 130 pounds.
So this is the thing you missing. I think that pressure is going to be different for him because I seen a guy like Mean Machine put him down. I mean, Gamboa put him down. We keep seeing
Gamboa hurt him bad.
Yeah, I thought he about to stop him.
I think my trip is that with Crawford, one punch gets held on to for years and years because we don't talk about Latte starching your boy. We don't really talk about it. We talk about Gamboa. That shit was almost a decade ago. I don't think people realize that when they bring it up.
See, you moving the goalpost, Vic, and that's what you do.
No, I'm just asking because I wanted to be even. I wanted to be even because we don't talk about Errol's flaws. We don't talk about when he gets hurt.
I'm one that's saying, even though I pick Earl, I'm 55-45. Terrence is still very much in the fight. I'm not saying it's a blowout.
I think it's 70-30. I think he's gonna beat the shit out of Errol.
Well, we're gonna see. We got 2 weeks.
And can I actually
just me being nice?
Let's put a bet on that. Let's put a bet.
I want to come back on this.
So let me ask you this. As you eat your Skittles. So let me ask you this. So if Errol beats Terrence Crawford, what mean you gonna bet, man? I want to bet that when he beats him, I want you to go get you a little pie, man, and I want you to pie yourself, and I'll do the same thing. Whoever wins that fight,
pie to the face, live.
And
I ain't that bad. But I want what my last bet was that you had to pay, BVO. I want you to come back on here and say, "Damn, Crown Jewel knows boxing."
Hey, man. before we get out of here, hey, Jock, what's going on, man? How you feeling, man?
What's good, family? How y'all?
Hey, man, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Do the Right Thing. This is my man Mookie, man. He's always late, man. Hey, but I'm gonna ask you a quick question, Mookie. So, who you got winning Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence? Man? Who you got winning, man?
Appreciate your truth, sir. While you waiting,
can you hear me? Can you hear me, Joe? I don't know what happened to my man Batman, but
I'm back.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I was asking you, man, who do you got winning, man? Me and Crown both picked Errol, and my man Vic picked Terrence Crawford. Who you got winning that fight?
I got Errol in 11th round stoppage.
I said Errol 11th round, so we on the same page, Joe.
Man, I've been saying this for months, bro.
Y'all got Errol stopping me?
No. Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask you this, Ja. This is the thing. See, you a fighter, and this is the thing about Ja that make me laugh. He got a mean streak the same way that Bud does. I watch some of Ja's fights. Now the man, he cool, but when he get hit, he get angry. Then he want to fight. I think Crown. I think you missing out. I think that if Bud gets angry, it could be a long night for Errol. That's the thing about him. When he gets hit, he gets angry.
He gonna run into something if he get angry.
Bud is gonna get angry. When he not gonna
and so is Earl.
He's gonna be mad at a point.
He gonna have to scratch his ass and get glad.
I really think well, I'm talking like my granddaddy now.
Yeah.
My granddaddy used to say.
He's gonna be his granddaddy, damn.
My great granddaddy. My great granddaddy.
Hey, that's old boxing gym talk.
Yeah, that's that old school. But
so go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just don't get how Errol is coming across the best fighter he ever fought. He hadn't been stopping shit but Ugas, who 1,000 other niggas beat. But all of a sudden, Crawford can't fight with this guy. Everybody else did, but he can't stand and fight this guy. I don't understand.
Nobody can stand and fight. Who stood and fought this guy successfully?
Porter turned his ass and beat on him.
Listen, Porter gave everybody a tough fight. We established that.
But he didn't do that to everybody. But this is my thing. He didn't do that to everybody. The footwork distance.
He didn't have to get his ass up off the canvas against everybody either.
Well, but okay. So if we gonna make it fair that way, Bronner knocked him down too.
He did. Right. And then he got right up and got the kick and Bronner's ass. That's not what happened against her.
When Crawford knocked him down, his daddy had to come get him.
Yeah, his dad made it about him. I didn't like that. His dad.
Then his daddy to come get him. You know what I mean?
Hey, let me ask you this before you go. Hey, John, let me ask you this, man. So, as a guy who I've seen fight a bunch of times, what happens when you get angry, man? How come when you get hit, it turns you to a different level? And why won't that help Terrence Crawford?
You gotta know how to control your aggression because you know with boxing, it's not like an emotional sport. You can't go in the ring and get hit and be like, oh yeah, but let me get it back. Say ASAP. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put good strategy behind it. And you gotta work behind your jab. But you can't get angry and start throwing right hands, left hooks out of nowhere. Say you're trying to knock them out. You can't do that.
You're running into a trap. You're exactly right, Ja.
Yeah.
Can't be emotional in there.
Because when you mad, but you don't see everything.
Yeah. Hey, but
like when you
No, go ahead. This is the thing I don't understand. How come it looks like Bud or even my man Ja here gets better when they get hit? I don't understand. That makes no sense what you're saying there.
Some people are ultra competitive, man. It has nothing to do with being mad. Maybe they get more focused when they get hit.
So is that what happens, Ja? Is that what it is, Ja? When you get hit, all of a sudden you on another level?
Yeah. Because
I don't want an unemotional Bud Crawford.
Yeah, because now like know the fight's live now. I'm saying, if you know like the fight's live, oh yeah, he just touched me.
Fight
oh yeah, now it's live.
Yeah. Does that mean you don't have a motor, or what does that mean?
That just means you're ultra competitive, man. What happens if a basketball player gets dunked on? What happened when Tracy McGrady? You heard Tracy McGrady tell that story. What happened when Tracy McGrady dunked on Kobe?
Oh yeah.
Kobe came right back down and dunked on the whole team. It heightened his competitiveness.
I was gonna say all the great ones in every sport want it back right then. Even Floyd was
but
like that. If you hit Floyd,
how you get it back.
If you hit Floyd, he want it back right now.
Yeah, but
he's also he wasn't even no killer at that point.
He's very intelligent about how he gets it back, though. He doesn't recklessly go about getting it back.
I would say the guy who's knocked out 13 out of his last 14 opponents has been doing it the right way. Apparently.
Well, who are they? Who are those last 14 opponents?
Yeah, you can't just say that. Like
two of them. One was Brooke and one was Porter. Wow, what's up?
They were done. They were done at that point.
My brother, that man.
They were finished.
Good names after 13.
I don't know about
okay, so let me ask you this question right quick, BBO. I just want to ask this. So basically, what y'all telling me is that Crawford's whole career has been just a sham, and he lucky.
I didn't say that.
Well, then what are we saying?
I'm talking about he ain't fought nobody at welterweight because when he did fight name fighters, they were already shot, worn, and done. I'm saying that.
Okay,
I'm saying he has been the beneficiary of some great matchmaking. I'm saying he has been moved just right at the right time.
So he lucky.
I say this, man.
He lucky.
He's still a great
how
fighter.
you put it, man. That boy,
Mike Tyson was matched perfectly.
The Kell Brook that Terrence fought was way tougher than the Kell Brook that Errol fought. Because Errol was just coming off. I mean, when he fought Errol, man, he was coming off, getting his eye broke, and then he broke the other one. But
he was also a lot younger. He had also never lost as a welterweight.
We still got to dump and take him with him.
Hey, but I'm glad my man.
You gotta remember, plus you gotta remember that Crawford, he's smoked. He came up from what?
130.
Yeah, super lightweight. You know what I'm saying? So he fighting at 147 with a natural, bigger 160 natural weight.
Yup.
Errol Spence, who got thumping power, who throw 50, 60 punches around, and who stay active from round 1 to 12. Crawford never had that. Only person you can really compare that to is Sean Porter, but Sean Porter is not Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying?
Talk that talk, Ja.
Hey, but
That's
before
very
we get
similar
out,
to what I said before you got on.
Before we get out of here, I'm gonna have you do two things. What's the best advice you can give a guy like Ja, who's in the process of his amateur career and thinking about being pro one day? What's the best advice you can give him? Then I want you to close the show.
Ja, if I can give you any advice, I'm gonna say this. As an aspiring boxer, if boxing can't be absolutely number one in your life, don't do it. It's too dangerous because you play everything else, you don't play boxing. It takes commitment in every aspect of your life. Number two, I'm sure you know this. The name of the game is hit and not get hit. The less punishment you take, the longer you'll be around. If you can remember those two things, you'll be fine.
Thanks, I appreciate that one, brother. Praise be to Allah, man.
No problem, bro.
And hit us with that famous line, bro, so we can get out of here, man.
This one to help you too, Ja. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, and your ass off the floor.
Yeah. And we go.
Peace.
That'll work. Take it easy, fella.